everybody. This is T with Kate's Crafty Closet with another Christmas card for the 2019 holiday season. So this is the card that we're going to be making today. So let's go ahead and get ourselves started. First thing I went ahead and did is this is just a standard A2 size top folding card. This is some 110-pound red cardstock from Michaels. So this means this is measured by 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we'll put that to the side because we'll come back to that later on. Next thing I went and did is just cut out some using this lawnfawn quilt die, some white cardstock, and I went ahead and die cut that out. And I got like a little piece left in here that I missed poking out. So let me go ahead and poke that out. And I'll do the best that I can to list all the products that I use in today's video. So we'll put that to the side because we'll need that momentarily. And then I use this die right here from Spellbinders. It's called Candy Cane. And I went ahead and cut out 4 times. I had to cut out 2 white, 2 red, and then I paper pieced the white and red together by just putting double-sided tape on the back, and go ahead and put the white on the inside of that. And then with the bow, it is some gold cardstock from Tim Holtz. So those are kind of the pieces that we're going to use. And then also I'm going to come in, I'm going to use this punch, and I'm going to punch out 2 of those for some branches on there. So we can go ahead and get ourselves started here. Got this one piece in backwards, but that's okay. We can fix that because the double-sided tape, I didn't push it down completely 100%. So we can go ahead and put that in there like that perfectly. Goes in there. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and bring in the quilt one, and we're going to put some twine around it, and I'm going to pull out some double-sided tape for this as well onto the back of it. So I'm just going to pull off a piece, and we're going to wrap this around twice. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this down with the double-sided tape, and I'm going to put that double-sided tape in between the quilted part, so we can kind of use that as an adhesive to apply that to the back of the card. And you can just put that on there any which way that you want to. I'm going to grab some scissors here and trim that off. Then we're going to grab another piece of that double-sided tape, and got that, and I'm going to put that down that center part right here, and we can just pull that release paper off, and then you can put that string back in there if it happens to come off. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with some liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to put liquid adhesive in the center of that quilted pattern so it doesn't seep through onto our card front. Okay, and then we'll bring in our front panel, that red cardstock. And here we're just going to do our best to line it up because this will cover the whole front panel. So I just like to lay it and just tap it onto there into place. That's why I use the liquid adhesive, because we have that little bit of wiggle room. Okay, and then we can pull this down a little bit, and boom, we have that on there. And here the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is pull the backing off of this double-sided tape on the candy canes. I'm gonna wish I had my little pokey tool here, but I don't, so we're gonna do our best just to pull that off. And I'll pull both of them off, and then we can go ahead and place those onto the card panel. Okay. And another thing is, like, this is a piece that I'm going to use from the Tim Holtz flashcards from Christmas. It's like, and I'm going to use the Noel, but you can use Joy or whatever. I'm going to pull the double-sided tape backing off of that as well. That way we have everything ready. We can place it and then put it down. So we have the adhesive on this one. And I actually went ahead and pulled it a little bit too hard and got it all coming up. Okay. Just gotta be, I gotta be patient and not be so quick to pull off that. This is where, like I said, a little pokey tool really comes in handy, because you can grab the release paper. Okay, that's kind of covered up a little bit, so I'm just going to rip, and that'll work. And then finally, this last piece, can pull that off as well. All right, so I just kind of bring it in here, and I'm going to kind of figure out where I want to put it. I'm not going to press it down in case I need to move it all a little bit. And then I'm going to have this one kind of coming up here, and this little piece with the Noel is kind of going to go underneath and to the edge and underneath that. So I'm okay with that placement, so I can go ahead and press that down. Then I'm going to come in with some of this Lawn Fawn liquid stardust, and I just have like a little water brush here and some off to the side and a little palette, and I'm just going to add that sparkle to the white pieces of the candy cane, so we have a little bit of glittery. It's like this will dry back and have a little bit of sparkle on it. So you can do this beforehand if you want. I'm just going to do this now. It doesn't really take that long, and if I might get a little bit on the red, I'm totally okay with that. And I do add a little bit of water to this when I put it into that paint palette, just to, you know, cut it down a little bit onto the cardstock, so it doesn't have like too much glitter. But what they say is you can never really honestly have too much sparkle. Okay, then we got this one. I have a couple more little areas to get done here. Okay, try not to grab too much, because remember, this is water, a little bit of water, and it's liquid, and this is not watercolor cardstock, so some of this will seep into that cardstock. So that is pretty much done. Then we can go ahead and grab in our punch here. I'm going to, excuse me, sorry for that. I'm going to go ahead and punch 2 of these branches. This is just an EK Success punch that I've had in my stash for quite some time. You can use any kind of branches or leaves that you want to use for the candy cane. And then I'm going to come in with some Distress Oxide ink. I think I'm using Forest Moss and an ink blending tool, and I'm just going to apply my ink to those 2 branches, like super easy, like nothing to it. Okay, like I don't dab too hard, so I don't want to rip the branches there. And like you could do that directly to the paper, then punch. I just found it a little bit easier to do it like this, and then I don't have to get it perfectly on there, because leaves are not perfectly green in nature either. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna let that dry for a second because that is a pigment and dye ink mixture. I'm going to put the inside of our card because it's red. We're going to have a little bit of white. This I just die cut out of a MFT A2 size stitch wrangle, the largest one. Put some double-sided adhesive on the back of that. And this is where we can stamp a sentiment in here, or we can just leave this to where we can write our message inside of there. So that takes care of that. Then before I put glue on here, I'm going to decide where I'm going to put these. The other one card I did just a little bit too far away from one another. So I kind of want to go a little bit closer, and I'm okay with that. And I'm just going to grab my liquid adhesive again and put some onto the back of her branches. Okay. Just a little here, a little there, because it's going to be pressed up against the bow for the most part. All right, so we got that one. Then we're going to come in with the other one and put some adhesive on this one as well. I was like, can you believe it's almost Christmas time? It goes by quick. All right. So we got that one. I'm going to head to adhere that down. Then we're going to come in with our little bow. That's that gold. You notice that the die puts impressions as well on there. All right. And this is our little gold bow. You can make your own bow out of ribbon. You don't have to use the die. But I just figured today I would use that die. Hold that down for a moment. Let it grab, and that finishes up our card today. Super simple, super easy. Love my die cutting and my dies. Use them quite a bit in my crafting these days. So, but yeah, this is an easy, really simple, easy card to make. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and make sure if you haven't done so already, hit that notification bell and hit that subscribe button too while you're at it. And thank you all for joining me, and y'all have a crafty day, y'all.